Hello, everyone. It says that we are live. I guess I actually need to look in the camera instead of at my computer. So if one of you out there, there are literally dozens of you out there. I'm so excited about that. So if one of you guys could text me and let me know if you can hear and if you can see, then we will get started. We're going to go ahead and plug on through. Okay. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I know it's a sacrifice to be here on a Saturday morning, so I want to make sure that I make it worth your time to be here on a Saturday morning. And so let me tell you what we're going to cover today. You know, each month we have a Saturday morning training, and each month we make it about a different topic. So today we're going to try to cram 3 topics in. We'll see how far we get. I don't know if I can cover it all. We are going to talk about three-way calls. We are not going to get into a lot of detail on three-way calls, so let me just prep you for that. I don't want you to go, oh, is that all she's going to talk about? We'll do more about it as we go through our monthly trainings. The bulk of our training is going to be on mixers, how to host mixers, when you should be hosting mixers, things like that. And then we're going to close out with what is 3-star gold. You heard, if you were at Success School, Todd Cash talk about that's the benchmark. You know, we'll help you get 3, and then after that, you go from there. Hello, come on in. Oh, here's my text messages. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Okay. You heard Todd Cash talk about how 3-star gold is benchmark. We'll help you get 3, and then you go from there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to show you, or I'm going to show you, Katie and I are going to show you what 3-star gold is, what it actually looks like. So let's go ahead and get started, and let's talk about 3-way calls. Now, the success system is made up of various parts. Who can tell me what the parts of the success system are, just so I'm not talking constantly? What's the success system?
One-on-ones.
One-on-ones.
Two-on-ones.
Two-on-ones.
Three-way calls.
Three-way calls.
Mixers.
Then after that, large group meetings. And that all flows through. Okay, so it doesn't have to go in that order. In a perfect world, it would go to that order. A one-to-one is you telling somebody your story. Hey, this is you know, something that I wanted to share with you. This is what I found. This is what I did. This is where I'm going. That type thing. That's a one-to-one. Three-way call is going to be you introducing your prospect to the person who's helping you. Two-on-one is going to be that same thing, but that's going to be in person instead of over the phone. Sometimes you do a three-way call and then you do a two-on-one meeting after that. Okay? And then the mixer is going to be a small group, and then it's going to go from there. So, three-way calls. What your job is on a three-way call is to share your story, invite that person to hear more, and stop talking. If you're having a hard time getting someone on a three-way call, that's probably your cue that you're providing too much information. Okay? You're telling them too much. You may even be telling them things they don't even care about. All you need to do to get someone on a three-way call is share your story, invite them to hear more, make it no big deal. The bigger deal you make it, the harder it's going to be for you to get that appointment set. Now, when it comes to setting the appointment, here's what TJ and I encourage. This is what we do ourselves. This is what I encourage you guys to do, because to me it just makes sense. You show your friend, your family member, your prospect, okay, we're just going to say prospect so we can consolidate that. You find out what are 2 times that work best for you, and then you let us know, or you let whoever is doing your three-way call for you what those 2 times are. And more than likely, if you've given enough space between the 2, one of those times is going to work. What that's going to prevent happening is back and forth, back and forth. Does this work for you? No, it doesn't work for her. How about this one? Oh, it doesn't work for him. Okay, prevent that completely. Say, oh, gosh, you know, I'm so excited about what I've just learned being in Texas. I cannot wait for you to hear about it the same way that I heard about it. I really want you to meet my friend Christina. What time of day would be best for you? Don't ask, do you want to talk to my friend Christina? What time of day would be best for you to meet my friend Christina? Because I'm so excited about you talking to her. Is morning, afternoon, or evening better for you? Oh, well, I have to rush in the morning, and then I'm at work all day. Evening is really best. Okay, you want to do it right after you get off work at 5:30, or do you want to do it after you put the kids to bed around 8:30? Okay, give that space of time. They've already told you that section of day works. Now you just got to get a couple of times. Would either one of those times work for you? Really, either one of those times? Okay, great. I'm going to find out what time Christina has available. I'm going to let you know. Contact Christina. Surely to goodness, she can make one of those work. If she can't make one of those work, then you go to the next person that's helping you. I mean, the majority of you in here have layers of people who are going to help you. You do not have to have TJ or myself to do a throughway call. If you have a distributor who signed up 3 days ago and you've been a distributor for a month, who has more experience? You do. Do the three-way call, okay? I'm not saying get wrapped up in your team, but I'm just saying feel some freedom to support your team in that way. It doesn't take someone who earns a multi-million-dollar income in AdvoCare to do a three-way call. It just takes another person. You know, how many times have you told a family member or your spouse something and they just kind of nodded their head, but then they heard it from their coworker and came home and said, hey, blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I told you that, okay? That's all a three-way call is. It's not that you're not telling them accurate information on your own. You're just bringing somebody else in to validate you. It's not about you being dumb. It's not about you being have an inability to grow your business. It's about having somebody else validate you and show your friend that you are the person that's going to help them, that you're qualified. It gives us a chance, that's right, Charlotte, it gives us a chance to brag on you a little bit so that when you're following up with them, when you're on the 24-day challenge, they don't see you as their friend that they went to 6th grade with. They see you as this person who knows what they're talking about, who knows how to train them up on the challenge. If you haven't set them up for that, then that really undermines your credibility on down the road. If you're calling them to talk about how they can increase their discount level, but you've been validated, then you have a chance to do that. So keep it simple. Come up with 2 times. Know that it's about just bringing in that extra credibility. That's what the three-way call is about. It is not to close the deal. It is not to give a rundown about AdvoCare. Don't set somebody up on a call that knows absolutely nothing about AdvoCare. Prepare them in advance. Make sure you've shared your story. Make sure they know at least what AdvoCare is. I've been on three-way calls. Well, tell me what you know about AdvoCare. I don't know what it is. Is it cleaning products? Okay, let's stop right here, okay? That's not someone who's ready for a three-way call, okay? They need to know your story. They need to know what AdvoCare is. They need to have a little bit of familiarity with what we're talking about. I think there's more counter stools in there if you want to bring them in. Okay, so when you get that person on a call, you are going to introduce the 2 of them, okay? You're not going to say, hey, Michelle, this is my friend Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer, this is my friend Michelle. I'm going to mute. Please don't do that, okay? You want to say, hey, Jennifer, this is my friend Michelle. Michelle's the person who told me about AdvoCare. I'm so thankful that she did. I can't imagine my life without Spark now. She's helped so many people, and I know she's going to be a great resource and a help for you too. Hey, Michelle, this is my friend Jennifer that I've been telling you about. I've known her all my life. We grew up together, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to be right here with you listening every step of the way, but to cut down on the background noise, I'm going to mute my phone. Okay? Keep it simple. Break the ice. let the person know how you know those two people, and then mute your phone. We do not need you to unmute your phone. Please do not unmute your phone. Yes, it may be something that you want to share that is applicable to that situation, but if it's not necessary to say, it's necessary not to say it. And when you get more than one person talking at the same time, it gets a little overwhelming for that prospect because they're like, who's talking to me right now? Who is this that's saying this? Share that for later. If you think of something that you want to share with your friend, then, make yourself a note, jot it down, and when, in my case, when I get off the phone, then share it with them, okay? Don't share it in the middle of the call, please, just to keep things simple. So, connect, introduce. What is the leader going to do on a three-way call? They're going to share their story. They're going to ask questions, and they're going to ask what interests you. They're going to share their story, and they're going to say, what part interests you? Is it the fact that I dropped 4 dress sizes that interests you, or is it the fact that we earn a significant income? What part of AdvoCare interests you the most? And then we're going to sit and we're going to listen. Just like that. Don't unmute your phone. Okay? We're going to let that person process. You've given them a lot of information. You've given them a lot to think about. So let them process it a little bit. Okay? Well, I really want to know more about this 24-day challenge. Great! We're going to talk about the 24-day challenge. I'm going to tell you what it is. Maybe I'm going to give you an online resource to look at if they are really unfamiliar. Sometimes the speed of that call depends on how far that person is in the process, how much they know already. They've already seen 24-day challenge movie and they're blown away by your results and they just want to get started, then we might end up processing their order on the phone. If they just said, what is the 24-day challenge because I've seen your incredible results, then you know what? I'm just going to lead them to a resource at the end of the call. It's your job to follow up. Okay? Now, when you follow up, here's what you're going to say. Typically, I'm going to set you up for that, or whoever is leading the call is going to set you up for that. Okay. Great. So you're interested in just learning a little bit more about AdvoCare, the 24-day challenge. So I'm going to have you take a look at choosethechallenge.com. I'm going to have you look at the virtual trim coach. And I'm going to have April give you a call back tonight and see what kind of questions you have. And then if you have more questions, we can get back together, or April maybe, or April's able to field those questions herself. Again, gonna validate you there. I'm gonna say, what do you feel like your next step is? That's where I'm gonna close out the call. What do you feel like your next step is? Well, I want to go ahead and get my challenge ordered, but I wouldn't mind making $500 a month. Okay, well, here's your choices on how to get started. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Let's go ahead and get you started on that. And then I want you to watch championswebinar.com. And I'm going to have April follow up with you tomorrow night at this same time. If we're talking at 5:30 on Monday, I'm going to have April follow up with you at 5:30 tomorrow night. Is that fair? Does that work for you? It's your job to follow through and to call that person. And then you're going to say to that person, hey, what did you think about whatever it was that happened? Or, hey, I'm going to have a few people over on Thursday night, and we're going to talk more about this. I'd love to have you come over for that. It doesn't have to be perfectly worded. You just say, hey, what are you thinking about? Are you ready to get started? That's a great question. Are you ready to get started? It's not hard. Don't complicate it. Okay? So that's a three-way call. Simple, simple, simple. The more of them you do, the faster your business is going to grow. The more simple you keep it, the more of them you're going to do. That's it. Foundation of the three-way call. Does anybody have any questions about the three-way call? How to do it, issues that you're having with three-way calls, anything? Go ahead.
So the format of the call from a leader's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to have changed from prior years where in Ruby Boot Camp they give you this
Transitional statements.
transitional statement formula to go through the call. And a lot of my calls still feed into that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them don't, but a lot of them do, and it's based on the conversation with that person, because they're like, oh, there's a business opportunity as well. And I think we leave that out sometimes, where we always focus on the products and the products. But sometimes the person, yeah, they want to do the products, but they're like ready to go. Like they just want to do the business. They want to make a lot of money, right? They need to get out of debt and get time freedom. And so some of our calls, some of mine go a little longer than normal. And on our team, I get the bad rap because I give a lot more information on some of those calls. And I don't think that's a bad thing sometimes. But it just depends on that person. So what are your recommendations for those type of scenarios where it's not just product focused, but we really want to get that business mindset across to that person?
I always share both sides of my story, which is why I end out the call with, tell me what kind of questions you have. What part of my story interests you the most? Because, I always start out with, we just first saw the products. Then right away we knew the products work, and we knew there was powerful business attached. Fast forward 4 years, I've gone from an 810 to a 24 outside of pregnancy, paid off $150,000, or eliminated over $150,000 in debt, and earned $15,000 to $18,000 a month. So you tell me what part of my story interests you the most. And like you said, sometimes they're ready to go. Well, I want to know more about this. Okay, well, let's talk about what advisor is. You're going to start at the top of advisor, and you're going to work your way down. As far as the transitional statements are concerned, that's something just for you all to know. Jenny Donnelly, through the Ruby Boot Camp curriculum, came up with 7 transitional statements to guide someone through how to lead a three-way call. They're great. If you still want to use those transitional statements, use them, because everybody has their own personality, and you are a very structured, informational person, and there's nothing wrong with that, because there are other people out there who are like that. Angela, not pulling Pinnell, her three-way calls sometimes can be like a wild goose chase. They're awesome. Just like your 7 transitional statement, Jenny Donnelly three-way call is awesome, because that's how she connects with somebody. Transitional statements are how you connect with someone. Even though the two are vastly different, they're still valuable and effective. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. Timing-wise, yes, there used to be that keep it to 15 minutes and then you get off the phone. TJ is that kind of guy. He wants to keep it to 15 minutes. He wants to get off the phone. I've been on 45-minute three-way phone calls with Angela Pinnell before. Again, that's still okay. Use your discernment with that person. If you gather that you're talking to somebody who wants that structured informational format and wants to be off the phone in 15 minutes, then it's your job as the leader to tweak yourself to do that. If you're having a great conversation and you guys are connecting and you're just having, a good time, which is typically going to be more with women than with men, feel free to take more than 15 minutes on that three-way call.
The last question.
Go ahead.
So let's say, because leaders have different perspectives throughout the team, I always want to make sure that people on our team know that they can go to anyone for those calls. But we also want to make sure that their prospect's getting the right information before they hang up that call. And sometimes, just some of the feedback that I've gotten from calls that I've done, it's, well, I don't think they got everything that you were trying to get across, or you gave a lot of information that was great. They got it. But I think sometimes there can be some confusion with our distributors where because there are different ways that leaders do those calls, sometimes it's confusing for that prospect when they get off the call with one person versus another. So I just want to are there suggestions that you guys have? Because I know you and
Great
TJ
point.
do calls differently. And we
Well, I was
wanna
going to say,
make sure-
TJ and I do calls completely differently. And here's going to be my suggestion in that. If you've connected to one leader, you need to stick with that one leader. Yes, that person eventually needs to know that they have multiple resources. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, I don't want this person to feel like they just got the 1-2 punch. This person and this person is coming at them.
Right.
I want you to develop a relationship and to hone that.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you need to stick with one person. That's another reason why I like to end the call with, you tell me what other questions you have. You tell me what you feel like your next step is, because they might go, oh gosh, this has been so much, I need to process this. I'm going to give them a resource to go to. It took me, we placed our advisor order, and I still didn't understand what advisor was. But TJ understood it. He got the numbers part of it. But I was the one on the phone with Angela. And so she would say, here, watch this. So I would be able to, at that time, there were webinars constantly. We didn't have recorded webinars. So I would watch. We did half of them, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I would watch a webinar, and he, watched it once and he got it. So 2 parts to that. Stick with the same person. Don't have a too many chiefs and not enough Indians kind of thing going on, for lack of a better analogy. And always end your call open-ended in that way, so that person feels the freedom to say, I don't get this. I don't understand what all this is. And that's going to cue you to know how to follow up. So say you and I were doing a three-way call, and that person said, well, I know that I want to make money, but I don't understand this advisor thing. And I'm going to say, okay, championswebinar.com. I want you to watch that. Right below it, there's an advisor movie. I'm going to have Greg call you tomorrow night, and he's going to break it down for you so that it's simple. Or feel free to call earlier than that if you have a chance to watch it earlier, because we're available anytime. Okay? Anything else about three-way calls?
Would you say that every call leads to another appointment? That'd be just a fair thing to say.
It should. It should. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you're either going to have an appointment to coach them through the challenge, you're going to have an appointment to bring them to a mixer or a biz op, or you're going to have an appointment to call and to follow up on the information given. Mm-hmm. That success system is a fluid process. You don't get the completion at a three-way call and stop it. You keep moving them through. Now, when can a three-way call be done? Three-way call can be done after you've gotten someone started on product. I sure hope you truly understand how to get someone started on the product. If you're gonna do that, please don't make a three-way call about, oh, she's having a horrible time on the cleanse. I didn't know she had IBS, and I put her on the citrus cleanse. Please don't make that a three-way call, because all I'm going to do is help them, and I'm honestly probably not even going to share my story or invite them to hear more. That's not a beautiful, fantastic way to do the three-way call. But a three-way call can be a troubleshooting call. Hopefully, it's not going to be what the three-way call is. Great thing is when you get your product in, I want you to meet my friend Rachel. You won't believe her results. She's amazing. I'm going to be helping you, but she's going to help you too, and so I want you to know her. That's a great time to do a three-way call. So just make sure that they have a foundation. If they're a brand new prospect, make sure that if they have engaged in some way with AdvoCare, if they have purchased a cleanse, if they've purchased M&S and Spark, that you engage them in a three-way call. That you help them to see that they have more support, and so that you get validated as their coach. Because you're still the coach even if they're just doing Spark and M&S. Even if they're just doing Spark, you're still their coach. Okay? All right. Let's move on to mixers. We're at that 30-minute mark. Let me stop for just a minute and talk about this, because I think Greg brought up a great point about everybody having their own personality, everybody having their own method, and that's a lot of what stirred up this training for me. specifically about mixers. Because when we got started in this business, we started at the end of May 2010. We went to Success School 3 weeks later. We'd never been to a mixer. We came home, we hosted a mixer the next week. We didn't know what we were doing. We just knew that mixers were important to do and that we needed to do mixers. And that set the pace of our business. And we did a lot of mixers. We would hire a babysitter. We would drive to Bell Buckle, Tennessee for 3 people to show up. We would host a mixer. Nobody would buy anything. That's fine. We'd host a mixer the following Tuesday. That was on a Thursday. We'd host a mixer on the following Tuesday night. Jason and Angela were in Texas. We did it. Okay? So what happened with that? We pinned silver, I think in July. I think early July. I meant to look at that. The rookie bonus structure was different. We earned 3 rookie bonuses that fall. We earned our first incentive trip to Paris that December. We went to Success School that winter as silver. We went from silver to gold to 3-star gold to ruby by April. All this time hosting mixers, okay? Brought me home from my business, gave it away in April. The following fall, we earned Atlantis, which is the trip that we got to take Will on. Life was good, kept plugging along, hit Emerald and 9-star like the following fall. We're Rising Stars in February of 2013. Earned the Mediterranean Voyage or Venetian Voyage. After that, you know, all these things, okay? And it all started because in July of 2010, we said we need to start hosting mixers. We don't know what we were doing. I was terrified. I did not know what to say. I would make TJ talk about the business part of it because I just felt comfortable talking about the products, but we did it anyway, is the point. I started doing calls with Allison in September. We'd been advisors not even 3 months. That was the beginning of September, right? So maybe 2 months we'd been advisors. Started doing three-way calls. I had 2 months head start on Allison. She connected me on three-way calls. We worked her to advisor in like a week, you know, and look at the business that's happened here. I didn't know what I was doing. I did it anyway, is my point. And because of that, a lot of blessings came from it.
And I thought you were brilliant.
Well, thanks.
I mean, I didn't know.
I
knew you had only started in July, but I had no idea that you weren't fully trained and ready to go.
But let me tell y'all, I had a sheet of paper that I ripped out of my journal, and I had what I was supposed to talk about on the three-way call over the visor in my car. And so when Allison said I have a call, I would take that sheet of paper down, and I wouldn't read it, but I would reference it, okay? Because I didn't know what I was doing. That's okay to not know what you're doing, all right? Now, don't get out there and make stuff up. You know, I took what I learned from trainings and I put it in front of me. What I'm saying is I wasn't polished. I wasn't perfect. Obviously, no one knew. People bought like crazy. And let me tell y'all.
You ever did, the girl didn't even ask how much it cost. Remember that?
Yeah.
We went through the whole thing. She was so frugal, whatever. We processed the entire order, and when we hung up, I said, she didn't even ask how much it cost.
Yeah. Because people don't really care what it costs. They say they do. They don't. That's their excuse. That's their layer. They just want to believe, does it work? That's all they care about. Go ahead.
I have a person in our organization that has the skills and the ability to do presentations, to do three-way calls, to talk to people. What they lack is internal confidence that I can do this business.
What they lack is purpose.
Well, I don't think so either. They've got a big purpose. But the thing they keep saying is, I don't know if I can really do this. And I'm going, what are you talking about? Of course you can. Look at this and this and this and that.
I'm telling you, 4 years experience, a slew of blessings from this business.
Right.
It's purpose. Because if you really, really, really want to accomplish your purpose, you'll get out there and do it afraid. You'll put that sheet of paper in front of you and do that three-way call because you know that if it doesn't happen, it's not okay, and it's your job to make it happen. So I know that's a hard stance, but you know I cut to the chase, and that, I mean, that's what it's about. I had to get Ollie home. So I used Jason and Angela as much as I could in Texas, but by golly, I was going to go, and I was going to figure it out. You know, if you've got debt that's just weighing you down, and every month you pay that bill, go. Do a mixer. Do three-way calls because you've got to pay that debt off and relieve that burden from your family. So I still believe that it's purpose. If you have the skill and aren't enacting that skill, then you don't feel strongly enough to solve that problem. So anyway, so all this stuff happened, and it was great. It was wonderful. Side note to that story: the 24-day challenge was $265 when we did the 25. When we did the 24-day challenge, it was $310. By the time you did like your distributorship, I know that because Angela would call me and say, "Why do you have all these people over 300 and not at 25%?" Cool. I don't know. I'm just out here doing it, just getting it done, which is okay. Again, because people don't care about the money. So all these great things, and again, back to the heart of why we're doing this. In February, we had leadership school in Texas. A lot of you guys were there, and I started getting really convicted about, yeah, it's great that we've been able to accomplish these things, but it's not enough. And my sort of mantra became, I want other people to have what we have, because that's what this business is all about. Whether it's product results or business results, we want other people to have what we have. We want to pay it forward. That's why we pick up the phone and do it afraid, is because we know that we have our hands on something that our friends need and we need to share it with them. So I came home from leadership school with the mindset of, I've just got to do more. I've got to encourage more. I've got to call more. You know, I've got to follow up more. You know, because you guys need time freedom. You need debt freedom. You need a part-time six-figure income. Because I know how cool it is, how great it is to have that, right? And so that was the season that I went through, and I started getting really convicted again here recently about that was okay. That came from great intentions, but maybe I'm in the way. Or maybe we as leaders, not just me, maybe we're in the way. Because what led to all those blessings was empowerment and fighting for our purpose. And so that's when I said, you know what? We've got to be doing more mixers. And it can't be about, Casey, when can you come host a mixer? TJ, when can you come host a mixer? It's about driving to Estill Springs and doing a mixer scared to death. That's rock star. That's how you build your business. That is a champion mindset, and you should be so proud of that. It's hosting one at your home when you only have 2 people coming and doing it around your kitchen table. That's a mixer. If this were a setting of people who are coming to learn about AdvoCare, this is not your typical mixer. Will you have some like this? Yeah, you'll have some like this. Well, Allison's, your first one was like this, but that's okay. you were epic. but it's different because you don't have to have this. And I think a lot of you are not hosting mixers because you think that you have to have this and you have to have 4 years of experience presenting it, and you don't. You are going to get better results. You're going to get faster results if you go do that mixer afraid. If you don't flow seamlessly from point to point, because that person sitting in that chair goes, well, you know, if she can do it, I can do it too. And if this is all that it takes is 2 people sitting at my kitchen table, to earn an extra $500 to $1,000 a month, then I can do that too. And so my whole heart in this today, for everybody out there as well, is be empowered. Host your own mixer. Start doing those three-way calls. Don't wait on somebody else to build your dream. You build your dream. Get after it. Do it afraid. Do it with 2 or 3 people. Okay? Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to teach you how to do it so that you're still going to be afraid, but at least you're going to have a general outline of how to go through things. Okay? So I want you to think, if your business is not where you want it to be, if you aren't earning the amount of income that you want, how many three-way calls am I doing? How many mixers am I hosting? Okay? Every time you wait for somebody else to host it, you're slowing your business down. The beauty is, if you start hosting your own mixers, if you talk to somebody and they're super excited about it, your timing is perfect. Tomorrow night we're going to have a couple of people over at the house and we're going to be talking about it. Now, were you planning on having that 2 hours earlier? No. Are you planning to have it now? Yes. Because you've just managed the pace and speed of your business because you're empowered to get it done. Instead of going, let me find out when the mixer is. Hey, when are you going to host another mixer? Oh, it's not until next Thursday? Okay, well, we'll wait. No. Move into action. Be empowered to move into action. Always remember, the speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack, and your team will do what you do to a lesser degree. Okay?
Can I share something on
Sure.
that? Just the whole concept of like 2 or 3 people. I can think of so many times where I've coached a new person into hosting a mixer and me coming to present, and only 1 or 2 or 3 people have showed up, and the person hosting feels like a failure. And they'll say, well, gosh, I don't know where everybody else is, and they'll make the 2 or 3 people who showed up kind of feel like, why did I even come? Because they're so mad about the fact that nobody else came. They got 20 chairs out. And I think that's a really cool shift to think about. If we prepare the new person, let's just, you can invite 8 or 10, but if we get 2, this is or 1 or any, this is a success, and we can make a lot of progress with 1 or 2 people. They can't manage all the questions and helping everyone get started. So that just hearing that is like, ooh, that's a really cool shift to set the expectation of, 1 or 2 guests is a win, and don't be sad if 10 people didn't fill your, restaurant meeting room or your living room or your kitchen.
Right, right. Man, how many people were at your first mixer at Kim's house?
Me. Like,
What'd you do?
whenever I had people come over.
No, I'm just saying, what'd you do after that mixer that you were the only one there? Did you get straight to advisor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
I was like, I went home and talked to him.
How bad was that to have 1 person at your mixer?
Right.
Not bad, because that gave us a chance to hang out around the kitchen table and just to chat. Those are my favorite kind of mixers. Kitchen table mixer where we can go off on rabbit trails and talk about stuff, that's my favorite. I feel like that's where people connect more versus this presentation kind of setting. So absolutely.
Is a huge, that would make a huge difference in even starting a new person. Is shift not painting the picture that a mixer is a pampered chef party with 20 people. It is a kitchen table, is a mixer, 2 to 3 people.
This is a relationship business. Charlie says it on Notes on Success. This is a relationship-based business, and so it's all about building relationships. I'm sorry, that smile.
And when people get started, they think they have to have a room full of people in order to have success. And then they
Yeah. Well, I can't do what you can do. I don't know that many people. But if they think, I just have to have 2 people at my kitchen table.
My neighbor will come.
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody will go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if all I have to do is serve Spark and sit at my kitchen table, then I can totally do this business.
None of our, so we haven't done as many of you, but we've done several here and in Memphis. And all of them we had invited tons of people. And all of them, a few people showed up.
Yeah.
And in fact, if it weren't for like 1, Joanna, it would be just Tim and I and the 1 person.
Yeah.
But every mixture we've done, business has happened out of it. Advisors, we bought into the lie. At first, like, oh man. But suddenly it's like, no, it gives time for that.
Moving forward.
Exactly what you're saying.
Moving forward. I can guarantee how you won't get business done, how you won't grow a business if you don't host the mixer. I can guarantee your business is not going to go unless you're plugging into some part of the success system. Now I'm going to say mixer. You know what? Maybe you have some people who, maybe you live in an area, but back home is 6 hours away. Well, number one, you can go 6 hours and host a mixer. Obviously, you're probably not going to do that weekly. But you know what? Maybe you need to do like a conference call. Maybe you need to do a webinar. Maybe you need to ask, your mentor, hey, will you help me with this webinar? We did one via Skype the other night. Had I known 2 hours earlier, we would have had it even more seamless, but it was still okay, I know Deer Retreat got a couple of people started from that. Do a Skype mixer. Skype is free, have them hook it up to their TV and host a mixer for your people back home, Say, Mom and Dad live back home. Mom and Dad, I'm going to fill your living room with friends from high school, and I'm going to host a mixer via Skype. I mean, we live in an amazing age of technology. There are no excuses. There are no hurdles. There are no obstacles why you cannot get business done.
Yeah, I don't think anyone there would have even realized it was a backup plan if it would have been,
Yeah, unless I said, hey, I'm having contractions and I'm 38 weeks.
Well, I mean, if it was set up
in
sooner,
advance.
but I know that it was like last minute. Problem.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out, but it worked. I mean, it was like this could actually be a feasible option for people.
Well, we also could have been turning in that room of, I'm not from here.
Yeah.
I'm from Virginia, but I can do this with all my friends in Virginia.
That's actually good for people who say, so many people here sell it.
Yeah.
You're from Mississippi.
Right.
You have family in Mississippi, so you have a market there or whatever, people that you can share with there. So.
I'll tell you, even if there's a lot of people in your area that sell it too, the market's not saturated. I tell people all the time, until we can fill up the Hooper Evelyn Center at Tennessee Tech, which is the basketball arena, Cookeville, Tennessee isn't saturated until we can do that. And everybody knows Cookeville's tiny. So anyway, okay, so first mixer led to a lot. Be yourself. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to serve Spark. So you need a canister of Spark. I recommend fruit punch. When the new flavors came out, we made a big fuss over the fact that we were going to serve pomegranate, we were going to serve green apple. Those are great as well. Fruit punch just tends to be kind of like the classic flavor, and it's easy for people to relate to. We mix Spark in a blender bottle. We have it filled up with water. We have our canister out. As everybody comes into the house, we bring them into the kitchen and we shake up that Spark and we talk to them. How's your day today? Blah, 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 getting to know them, building rapport. That's also going to help you as you're presenting know which of these stories that you're going to share. Okay, if you know that somebody's a single mom, then you're going to share a single mom story, on there. However it's relatable. You're going to pour the Spark. I already have ice in my glass. And you're going to give them the Spark. What are some things you're not going to do?
Do you want this?
Do you want this? Now, it has caffeine in it. Don't do that. Just say, here's your Spark, okay? 9 times out of 10, they're going to go to sleep just fine. If they don't, they're going to know Spark works, okay? Just give them the Spark, and they're going to need more Spark tomorrow morning, and that's an even bigger win. So give them the Spark, because when you see them at work tomorrow morning, they're going to say, oh, that Spark works so good, I couldn't fall asleep last night. Now I'm tired. Give another Spark. Yes, I do, and I can tell you how to get it at 40% off. There's value in this. For the Spark, give them the Spark. Don't be timid about the Spark. Don't be weak. Just give them the Spark. That's all you have to do. Please do not serve food. Please do not, just don't go overboard. Keep it simple, okay? And the reason why is because just like we said, if someone says, oh, I can have 2 people at my kitchen table, I can do that. If your house is spotless and you know, you've got this huge AdvoCare display and you've got a veggie and fruit tray, then that person is going to go, I do not have time to do this. So don't do that. Keep it simple. Blender bottle and a solo cup. Don't do a clear cup. Spark has a ton of vitamins in it. And as it sits there, the vitamins start to settle, okay? And while it's not bad, it doesn't look great, just to be real honest. So do a colored cup. If you want to do some cute napkins, that's okay too. You know, everybody can go to Target or Walmart and buy some cute little napkins. That's okay. Deb Fisser would tell you to stick a lemon or something on it. You're more than welcome to do that too, but I wouldn't go beyond that. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to serve Spark. You are going to be respectful of everyone who is in the room on time, and you're going to start on time. Now, what I like to do is I like to have everybody kind of get together either at 6:45 or 7, and then start about 10 to 15 minutes later. And the reason why I do that is because I want to get to know those guests. I don't want to just bring them in and then launch into, here is, you know, what is AdvoCare. So get to know them. And finish on time. 45 minutes is preferable. Maybe up to an hour, but try not to do that because the point is you want to leave time at the end for them to connect and to ask questions. If you've built rapport at the beginning, you've opened up their eyes to more in the middle, then at the end, you have a time to really connect and solve problems, whether that's customizing a product order or whether that's really hearing their heart about the income that they need and why they need it, okay? Be yourself. You know, I have a very straightforward style in presenting mixers. Jason Pinnell is really funny. Angela shares a lot of stories. I know Christy Sullivan has a very teacher kind of presentation. She used to be kindergarten, first grade teacher. You know, that's because that's just who we are. So be yourself in presenting the mixer. Don't try to do it like somebody else does it. I went through a season where I tried to get real emotional about things, and it was awkward. You know, I'm more of a down the middle kind of girl. So do it how you would do it, in your own way and in your own word choices. Okay? So after we serve the Spark, after we meet and greet, you're either going to gather around the kitchen table, maybe with your laptop, or with your marked up Impact magazine, okay? The more loved it looks, the better. Don't let it be pristine because you're going to have a hard time flipping through it. Or you're going to get together in your living room and you're going to introduce yourself. By now, hopefully, you've met everyone, but you know, maybe you're going to say something about, hey guys, thanks so much for being here tonight. My name is Casey Overstreet. My husband and I have been with AdvoCare for 4 years now, and I can't wait to tell you what we have found and what we have been blessed to share with other people over the past 4 years. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in and we're going to get started. This new DVD, amazing. I was going to show clips off of it, but I couldn't find my remote this morning. So just by now, all of you should have your own DVD, watch your own DVD. And TJ was already gone, so anyway, it's like doing a mixer at Christina's house. Work. Christina's DVD player hates me. And it makes TJ do funny things. Anyway. So we're going to start with the AdvoCare opportunity. They have revamped this on the new DVD. It's awesome. It talks about how we've been around since 1993. It talks about the SciMed board. It talks about the endorsers. It takes what I used to spend probably 10 minutes on and does it in like a 2-minute clip and keeps you from having to do it. And so start with the AdvoCare opportunity. If you only have like 4 or 5 people in the room, then, you know, kind of sit with them and kind of make it a, you know, I'm going to watch this with you sort of situation. If you've got more than 5, then I would stand up and present, all right? But just make it very informal. So open up with the AdvoCare opportunity. This is when I'm going to share my package story, where I was, what I saw, what I did, where I'm going. After the AdvoCare opportunity. That's when I'm going to share. I'm going to introduce myself at the beginning, then I'm going to share my package story after that. Okay? And what I like to do is kind of take people back to, here's what we saw when we were first discovering AdvoCare. We've been skeptical. We've told my friend Angela no a lot. And so this is where you can use your Impact magazine. It talked about the SciMed board, but maybe you want to flip open the Impact magazine and you want to show the SciMed board. And the new Impact magazine, it is laid out for a mixer. Because after you go to the SciMed board, go to people who endorse our products. You talk about Drew Brees. Who doesn't know Drew Brees? Go Vols, we know Jason Witten, Cowboys fans. Flip the page, you're going to have Rich Froning. Oh, look, by the way, here's what Rich Froning takes. Here are the products that Rich Froning takes. If they're good enough for the fittest man on earth, pretty sure they're good enough for us too. Okay, so you're going to flip through there. You're going to show our list of endorsers. You're going to just quickly touch on those things. There's a section of AdvoCare endorsers with video clips. If you don't want to use the Impact magazine, if you want to show some video clips, by all means, show some video clips. Let those endorsers speak for themselves. So you're going to flash over that. You're going to make the transition. If it's good enough for Olympic and professional athletes, it's good enough for us. Okay? After that, what I will do is I will say, AdvoCare has over 70 different products. We have a bunch of different product lines, or 4 different product lines. Of course, now we have the skincare line as well. But 8 out of 10 people typically start with the 24-day challenge. And so that's where you want to have a 24-day challenge on display. Typically, I'm going to display it this way. Okay? And then you're going to have your add-ons off to the side. And you're going to hold up these products and you're going to talk through what is the 24-day challenge. Well, the first 10 days is going to be the cleanse phase. You're going to say it's gentle and uneventful. You're going to say, good news, you get to eat 5 to 6 times per day. There's 2 different versions. We're going to figure out which version is right for you. We're going to customize this challenge. You're going to drink Spark. After you drink your first Spark, you're never going to want to go a day without it. 3 to 5 hours of level sustained energy. Not a gas station energy drink. It's a healthy vitamin energy drink. You're going to show Omegaplex. Omega fat is a good fat. The good fats get rid of the bad fat. Don't you want your bad fat out of your system? Yes. You're going to take Omegaplex. It's a helper to the cleanse. This is the first 10 days. The second phase, so we're going to just amp up your metabolism, put rocket fuel in your body, and you're going to be calling and thanking me for putting you on these products. That's going to be our max phase. Of course, you're still going to drink Spark. Never going to go a day without Spark. You're going to start your M&S vitamins. Have a box open if you want. You can show your M&S vitamins. It's super simple. There's even instructions on the front. It's dummy proof, which means I can take it every day. Your multivitamin, your calcium, your probiotic, your omega. We're filling in those gaps nutritionally to give your body what it needs to be its best. Keep it simple. I don't know about you guys. How many of you guys have a crazy, hectic morning every morning? Is it wild around your house? It's wild around my house. We got 3 kids. We got 3 kids in 3 different schools. I do not have time to make an omelet breakfast with fresh fruit every morning. But what I do have time to do is take my blender bottle, fill it with 8 ounces of water, and shake up my drink and drink it down. And what I'm getting is 24 grams of slow digesting carbs, for energy. We need those for fuel, for energy, and 24 grams of a pre-digested protein, which means when it hits my system, it gets to work. And that's what I want. And oh, by the way, they're delicious. Tastes great. Chocolate berry vanilla, chocolate mocha. Probably left one out. Again, we'll help you figure out which flavor is right for you at the end of the night tonight. Okay? So you're going to show the 24-day challenge. Then you're going to show some add-ons. Catalyst is our non-optional optional add-on. Catalyst is protection and food for your muscles. This is what's going to help you to firm and tone as you're losing. Everybody loves Catalyst. Now, side note to this, I've heard this a lot this week. You take Catalyst every day. This is not only people who work out take Catalyst. This is anyone who has muscle in their body takes Catalyst. Everyone has muscle in their body, right? Right. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to stand and move. So, Catalyst, non-optional, optional add-on. This was always in our 24-day challenges starting out. 2 bottles every single time. Back in 2010, as Bob Donnelly says, back in 99, back in 2010. ThermoPlus, you know what? If you want to amp up your results, if you want to just take that 24-day challenge up a notch, you know, a lot of my friends say go big or go home. Add on ThermoPlus. ThermoPlus is going to help to boost your metabolism. ThermoPlus does not burn a certain amount of calories. Please do not say that. Catalyst is not Beachbody in a bottle or liposuction in a bottle. Please do not say that. Those are previous statements, but we don't speak that way anymore. ThermoPlus is just going to help to boost your metabolism. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having some people love Slim. Are any of you guys using it? Yeah? Like, I'm hearing crazy good results from Slim. So I'm going to start showing Slim my mixers. Help with appetite control, but it's going to help with energy as well. And my customers who are loving this the most are the ones who get the afternoon munchies and have a hard time at the end of the day loving it and wanting more and more of it. It's a fantastic add-on to the 24-day challenge. Okay? So, we've talked about that we know the products are safe. Doctors, we've already talked about the endorsers, we've already talked about informed choice. The next thing that people are going to be thinking about is, are the products effective? Do they work? Okay? Because again, they don't really care about how much it costs if they know that it works. And so that's when you're going to start sharing the products work. Oh, by the way, you can click on 24-day challenge and let the 24-day challenge be explained for you if you don't want to explain the 24-day challenge yourself. I mean, between the Impact Magazine and the DVD, you could go set up out in the middle of nowhere and host a mixer. At this point, they've helped us this much with our tools. So you want to start talking about the product's work. If you do happen to have stories in the room, feel free. I mean, obviously you want to share your own story, but share one of the stories in the room. At the Skype mixer this week, I had April share her story because people got to see real life stories. Share some stories of your friends. You know, this is somebody that I've helped recently, and she's gone from, you know, coming home from dropping her kids off at school and taking a nap to going to CrossFit and working out 5 times a week and looks amazing. Has dropped 12 inches. You know, tell a story like that. Show stories on the DVD. The neat thing about the new DVD is that the stories are diverse and they're very well put together. So pretty much you couldn't go wrong with any story. And it's got the little caption so you know what you're going to share. So, you know, if you've got somebody in the room and they're really fit already, then you're going to show the story of the couple who's already super fit and using the products. If you have somebody who's on the beginning of their journey and they have a significant amount of weight to lose, then you're going to share one of those stories. That's where you're going to adapt it to your room. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay. I would show 2 to 3 stories. If you have a live story in the room, I would show 2 on the DVD. If you don't have a live story in the room, then I would show 3 on the DVD. And you know, make them a little diverse. Again, that's the beautiful thing about the new DVD is that there's diversity with that. Any questions about product stories? No? Okay. All right, so after I show the product stories, I'm going to say, you know, we talked about that you can eat. You know the products work. Will you get help? Absolutely, you're going to get help. I'm going to be with you every step of the way, coaching you through. Common question is, what do I do next? Every 90 days, we're going to go back through the cleanse. You're going to know when it's time. You're going to have sugar and carb cravings. Maybe you're going to be a little bit bloated, like those pants don't fit the way they used to. It's time to go through another cleanse. But in the meantime, you're not going to want to go a day without M&S and Spark because you're nourishing your body the way that you should, and you're giving yourself a healthier source of energy than coffee, soda, or tea. So you're going to stay on these 2 products. I continue with the shakes because the shakes just make my life easier. And they save me money because TJ used to go get 2 Sonic breakfast burritos and a Route 44 Dr. Pepper for breakfast, and one of our shakes is way cheaper and a whole lot healthier. So that's a winner in our house. And, of course, I like to stay on the Catalyst as well. Again, we're going to help you to customize that. Along about day 17 to 20, as we're coaching you through, we're going to talk about how you want to continue, what you are experiencing, and how we can help you to continue with your results. For me, after my first 24-day challenge, I added in Slim because I wanted to continue to lose weight. TJ added in our Performance Elite products because he actually wanted to gain muscle mass. So we're going to be with you, and we're going to be helping you every step of the way. Now, next decision that you have to make is how are you going to purchase these products? And what you guys are going to do is you're going to flip to page 68, 69 in the Impact Magazine, or if you want to do a mixer board, you can. But again, we're trying to simplify to multiply, okay? Simplify this process, and I guarantee you your business will grow. You are going to talk about being a retail customer. You see the products, you want to use the products, and you want to pay the full price for the products. Yay, you. There's nothing wrong with that. Our products are worth every red penny they're priced at. My friend April says that she'd pay 3 times as much for the products if she had known the results that she was going to get from these products. For me, I'm cheap. So I like the wholesale customer option. If I can buy it at TJ Maxx, I'm going to, and that kind of gives you this opportunity with AdvoCare. You pay a membership fee just like you would at Sam's or Costco. You save 20 to 30% off of your product. That's huge. You're going to get some free product, Spark and Slam, that you're going to love, and you're going to simplify your world by having your own website to order from. So you don't have to track me down every time you want to place an order. You can be in your jammies at 11:30 at night and place your order, and your Spark will be to you in 2 to 3 days, or overnight if you want to. So wholesale customers are a really popular option, and I'll tell you why, because it gives you a lot of advantages, but what it does not give you is an obligation, an auto ship, a quota. It does not give you any of those things. It just gives you savings and a chance to make it easier for you to get the products that you're going to love. Now, by default, you certainly can be a distributor. That's the third way that you can get started with AdvoCare. That, is a wholesale customer basically who, if someone asks them about, how are you getting those results, then they don't mind sharing more with them and earning some extra income. This is a hobbyist. This is somebody who wants mailbox money. Maybe they want a $50 check hitting their mailbox every 2 weeks. That's a distributor. Typically, a hobbyist distributor is going to get our maximum discount level, and they're going to get to that 40% discount level, basically because they want to take the products at cost. I'll tell you, Spark tastes better at 40% off. You want to be at that 40% discount level. Now, for our family, our product results have changed things. My husband's gone from, as I shared with you, sitting on the couch to coming home and playing with our boys. Again, okay, I'm referencing what we've already talked about. But what has ultimately forever changed the course of our family's future is this number 4 option, and that's advisor. And all advisor is a fancy name for 40% off of their products and 5 ways to get paid. Simple. That's all advisor is. Somebody who wants 40% off of their products and a way to get paid 5 different ways. Now, before we transition into advisor, does anybody have any questions about explaining the 4 ways that we engage? I know I've got to tell Mom that she's got to go to the other house.
I would tell her.
Oh, is he? Okay. This is real life, y'all. For those of you out there, 2 of my boys just got home. Okay, any questions about the 4 ways that we engage? Okay. A good way to transition to this is, yeah, they're going to go to the other house. They're going to go to the new house. She probably doesn't understand what he's saying. Anyway, is, you know what people are going to notice? We know the products work. People are going to notice that they work. This is not a sales business. This is about just working hard and helping others reach their goals. So why not get their products at 40% off and earn 5 ways to get paid? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, here's what that looks like. Here's what 5 ways to get paid looks like. Okay? The first way is going to be retail profit and wholesale commission. We get paid those ways by moving product in the marketplace. AdvoCare is about a whole lot of people taking a little bit of product with a few business builders built in. So as I help people get started, whether I help them get started as a full price customer or a wholesale customer, I'm going to earn 2 streams of income. Oh, by the way, that's the way that a hobbyist earns. That's a way that a distributor, 20 to 30% off earns. Now, I shared with you our income story earlier, averaging about $15,000 to $18,000 a month part-time. The majority of that income is going to come from overrides, leadership bonuses, and incentives. We're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to start with the fun part. AdvoCare has allowed us to travel the world, to go to Paris, Greece, Italy. Maybe what you might say is, AdvoCare gives you the opportunity to travel the world. It allows you the opportunity to go to Paris, Greece, Italy. Maybe you might say something like that. Or AdvoCare is giving us the ability to earn an all-expense-paid vacation, not just for us, but for our kids. For up to a family of 5, they get to travel. They get $1,000 spending money. They get to stay at a 5-star resort. Paint a little vision when it comes here. Here's the fun way that we get paid. AdvoCare is going to give you a chance for your kids to experience vacation like they have never experienced vacation before. Because what your vacation looks like now is probably what my vacation used to look like. Scrimping, pinching, saving, trying to find the best deal that we can, or spending what we want to spend and then having to take months to pay it off. That's what vacation is for the average American family. This is an all-expense-paid vacation. This gives your kids a chance to experience vacation like they've probably never experienced vacation before. Oh, by the way, another way that we get paid is through the Rookie Bonus Program. AdvoCare gives you a $500 incentive your first 6 weeks, basically, at that advisor level to put some extra cash in your pocket. That's exciting. For us, our original goal in AdvoCare was $500 a month. And look, you can make that in just one way that we get paid, right off the bat. It's not hard. You just have to make up your mind to do it, and you'll get it accomplished. So you're going to talk about the rookie bonus, and you're going to talk about the incentive trip. Overrides and leadership bonuses, guys, we're not going to dig into the math on that tonight, but I will tell you that these are residual incomes, which means that they're income that's going to pay you for a lifetime. We get paid today for work that we did 4 years ago when we got started. We're going to get paid 5, 10, 15 years down the road for work that we're doing today through overrides and leadership bonuses. You know how a songwriter writes a song and they continue to get a royalty off of it? Author, kind of the same thing, okay? Keep it simple. Don't dig in too far into these. But I will tell you, this is the power of the AdvoCare income opportunity right here. Any questions about how to share the ways that we get paid? Okay. What you're going to do at this point is you're going to say, okay, here's what it looks like in black and white. Here's what it looks like in real life. And you're going to go to distributor success stories. The new DVD is awesome. It has a snapshot story and it has a power story, okay? So the snapshot story is kind of that distributor's journey, and the power story gets to the nitty-gritty. You know, you show Brooks and Chris Reed. These are my friends Brooks and Chris who live down in Franklin. They've earned $1 million in the past 4 years with AdvoCare. I mean, it shows up on the screen. You hear them say, we earned $96,000 our first year, $240,000 our second year. We're now averaging $40,000 to $50,000 per month in year 4 in this business. They're little 4 kiddos, you know, playing in the background. Very casual, very relaxed, and all of you by now have probably met Brooks and Chris, and so you can say, these are my friends Brooks and Chris down in Franklin. Lois and Laramie Gregory's story is on there. The Rising Star stories are on there. The Rising Star stories are very brief. Typically, they're people who are in the earlier stages of their journey. Some of them have been in a little bit longer. But again, gauge your audience and share a story appropriately. You want to make sure that your audience is connecting with what they're sharing. And again, there's diversity. There's single dads, there's single moms, there's couples, there's people who started in, I want to say like 1999. There's people who started 18 months ago. I mean, there's a huge mix with this DVD, and I'll tell you guys, if you don't have them already, you need to get a few packs of these, and you need to start getting them in people's hands. And you need to follow up and make sure that they're watching the DVD, because if they're watching the DVD, they're going to be excited, and their eyes are going to be opened. Okay, so then you're going to close out the night. And I'm going to close it out the night a little differently. I'm going to close it out with why AdvoCare. Because that's what I want people to start thinking about. Why would I choose AdvoCare? What would AdvoCare do for my family? And so I'm going to show that why AdvoCare clip. And I'm going to say, why would you choose AdvoCare tonight? We know that the products are amazing. They've been getting the results for 20 plus years. They're going to get results for another 20, 40, 60 years on down the road. If that's all you do is get started on Spark tonight, I guarantee that you've made a wise choice, because you're going to love it and feel fantastic. But maybe why AdvoCare is because you have a student loan bill that will not go away. And you keep working harder and longer, and it still won't go away. Maybe why AdvoCare? Because you're having to work an extra job just to make the bills month in, month out. Why not AdvoCare? If not AdvoCare, then what? If not now, then when? The best decision that we ever made for our family was in May of 2010 when we went straight to that advisor level and we gave it a shot. Did we know that it would work? No. Were we scared? Yeah, a little, but we knew that AdvoCare had our back. We knew that we had a 1-year money-back guarantee and that the only variable in our success was us. So what would an extra $500 a month do for you? What would an extra $5,000 a month do for you? The only person who determines that limit is you. What would it mean if your family could go on vacation debt-free? Wouldn't you love to give that experience to your children? Okay, so just start opening up some questions. So here's what we're going to do now, you guys. We're going to take some time, and if you've got to go, by all means, we want to be respectful of your life. If you need to go, feel free to go. We'll talk later. I'll be sure to follow up with you tomorrow. But if you want to stay and you want to ask some questions about product, if you want to customize a bundle for yourself, then we'll stay and we'll talk about product questions. If you want to know more about how you could earn some extra income for your family, we'll stay. We'll talk about how to earn extra income for your family. No matter what, any decision that you make with Advocare is going to be a wise choice. And so that's what's going to end your mixer. And you are going to move. You're going to go sit down. You're going to turn on some music. You're going to go into the kitchen. You know, you're going to do something. Don't just stand here like this because no one will move. And it will be awkward, okay? So move somewhere and do something. But that's the end of your mixer. It's pretty simple. You can use the Impact Magazine, the DVD. I hope by now you've gone through your Impact Magazine and you've hit key points in the story. You've familiarized yourself. You've marked what their results are. There's some incredible stories in here, you guys. I mean, I went through it. I've lost a couple of Post-it notes and was blown away. I mean, look at this guy. He's lost 106 pounds. The only products that he continues on are basically the second phase of the 24-day challenge plus Catalyst and Thermofloss. 106 pounds, and he's basically just using basic challenge products. I mean, it's incredible. Talks about mood changing, life changing, all that good stuff. All right. Any questions about how to host a mixer? How much time do we have left? If you want your business to grow, you need to be hosting mixers. 2 or 3 people. Don't wait on somebody else to host a mixer. If you want your distributors to host mixers, then you have to host mixers. Your team will do what you do to a lesser degree. Rachel Witt shared a bit of her story. She's the fastest to diamond. She reached the diamond leadership level in 9 months. She lives in West Virginia. I always forget, is it Virginia or West Virginia? West Virginia. I think of those as the same. She lives in West Virginia. Her mentor lives in Maryville, Tennessee. Okay? Out on her own, basically. I mean, obviously we talked about technology, but she said, I'm going to start hosting a mixer every week, and I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it afraid. I'm going to do it, you know, without the polish maybe that Lois had. So she started in May. No matter what, hosted a mixer every week. Did she have no-show mixers? Yes, she had no-show mixers. Did she quit because she had no-show mixers? No. Did she only host a mixer if somebody else was going to host a mixer? No. She hosted her own mixer herself every week. By January, she had 75 people at a mixer filling her living room. By March, she was diamond. She got it done. She didn't wait on anybody else to build her dream. She built her own dream. She went to work, and she got it done. Is there anything that is just amazingly special about Rachel Witt? No. I mean, she's fabulous. She's wonderful. She's a wonderful person. But she's no more wonderful than any of you in this room. And there's no reason why, with the same dedication and determination, you can't accomplish what she accomplished. You have the exact same ability. You guys out there online, all you have to do is make the decision to do it and follow through. Okay? All right, so let's take a break. Let's stand up. Let's move around. You guys catch your breath. Run to the bathroom if you need to. Get something to drink if you need to. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about 3-Star Gold. And maybe you guys ever watched The Princess Bride? Maybe. I love that movie. And you know where he says, inconceivable. And then, what's his name? Indigo says, I do not think it means what you think it means. Well, that's 3-Star Gold. I do not think it means what you think it means. And so we're going to break down what is 3-Star Gold in about 3 minutes.
Good, man. I see you. But you have to be all up there.
Yeah, we worked the Chit Chat last night. Well, we got out, we were out by about, and we managed to, attendance was low because of the weather, but they had a pretty good crowd last night, so we managed to sell out everything.
Good.
I mean, we're doing, we got down about 20 chickens over there. We had 2 for 1. It's all our pork sandwich, trains running without. Out front, food. Yeah.
You like TJ, he likes that. A little bit
I
of spice.
like the chocolate, that's the most important part, and then we'll go from there. But big ones?
But you know, random
They have that red velvet.
Yeah.
All that, I need the big ones.
They had like ground flax the other day, and all of those, what is it, Gary's? Red Mill. Yeah, yeah.
Not
I
hard. Yeah.
What, the DB9 bar?
How are you?
Oh, that's not good.
So
Ollie is too, but when
I just put my last in my car to get out.
She's all like,
Carrie, Emma, schedule, social life, nothing. We're supposed to have, she felt really worried about being this problem. Matt just had this ominous feeling with being as pregnant as she is. I think they're saying that.
apple cinnamon bars. They disappeared.
Apple cinnamon bars?
So I made the journey really up and down, from Columbia. And then my friend is going to take us to his football game with the South. So I'm kind of
Alright.
Making noise.
How about that?
in my apartment.
Do you have one of these? I have an accent.
For some reason, I didn't have in my shopping cart. I always grab magazines and DVDs.
We've been using.
I mean, I don't know why.
I have a magazine.
I mean, you kind of single DVDs over there.
Okay, so.
These are so.
You got another Megan? She's wanting to try to get back next time. Well, actually, Rachel, not gonna get but it was a video of the picture, but it was clear, that you can hear it. Well, I showed it to her.
What?
Rachel Wick's Rising Star. I found it on YouTube.
Yeah.
It was the big screen, someone video. I guess it's their phone. I don't know. It was clear and it was helpful.
Yeah. She said that she got off the stage and had no idea what she said. Like, that's
Right.
Spirit was speaking There we go. All right, y'all, let's get started.
Paper challenge.
All right, there are a lot of blueprints out there that you will find. I will try to get this one posted in our group today. But I encourage you to print one of these off and put it on your whiteboard, put it in your planner, you know, whatever method that you want to do, draw it out here and use it to fill in. Now, we talk a lot about there's no perfect structure to this business. People ask me all the time, well, how many people do I need to have signed up under me to earn $3,000 a month? Well, that depends. You could have a ton of product users signed up under you, or you could have 3 people who see it like you see it and are building a business. I don't know how many you need. But just to keep things simple, we're going to use this little diagram, and I started to draw it up here on the board. There's you at the top, there's 3 legs, and then you're helping each of those people get 3 people. Okay? Call it the power of 3. On the notes on success, Charlie talks about the level of foundation, the level of duplication, and the level of explosion. And when you get these people multiplying, that's when you get the level of explosion, and that's where you get that income that we hear about that other people find hard to believe. You know, you hear about people making $40,000 a month, and you can't wrap your mind around that. Well, it's not because there's anything super special about them, just because they've duplicated their efforts and other people have duplicated their efforts, and so you get to that level of explosion where it's just exponential growth. So we're going to dial all that back, and we're going to talk about what is 3-star gold. Because as we said before the break, I do not think it means what you think it means. Okay? People see 3-star gold on the income disclosure statement. They see $38,000 a year and they say, I want that. But they don't necessarily know how that comes together. Okay? So, 3-star gold means that you have $500 in override. $500 in override comes from you and your team generating, or really your team, generating $15,000 in volume through 3 levels. T, they're down at their house if he wants to go play. $15,000 through 3 levels. 15,000 from advisors, yeah, under an advisor leg. These are all advisor legs. Okay? Each of these legs have to be a star leg, and we talked about that at the last training. What's a star leg?
Average $3,000.
$3,000.
It's all pay period.
Per pay period. Yeah. 3-star legs. A star leg is an advisor leg that generates $3,000 in volume. That could be an advisor who hits 3K themselves. It could be an advisor that does $1,500 and has an advisor who does $500, another advisor who does $500, and another advisor who does $500. Okay? However you mix and match that. It could be an advisor who does 3K because they have a ton of product users who are placing a ton of product orders. However you want to break it down. And I've already messed it up. David, would you care to grab me a paper towel off the kitchen counter, please? Got really excited with my scribbles. Okay, $500 in override is $15,000 through an advisor. 3-star legs, which means that each of those legs generate $3,000 in volume. That averages about $36,000 to $40,000 per year. Now, the thing with a pin is you have to hit your pin. We call that qualifying. So you have to do this in a pay period to qualify, and then you have to follow up and do it again in the next pay period, bless you, to actually pin it. Okay? So sometimes you see that people will hit a level and then not do it, well, I guess I could have left that, in the next pay period, and so they don't pin it. The beautiful thing is you get a chance to do it again. Took us 3 times to pin silver. We qualified, didn't hit it, qualified, didn't hit it, qualified, hit it.
The other beautiful thing is you get paid at that level Even if
When you
don't
qualify.
hit it. Anytime
Yeah.
you hit it, you get paid.
Anytime you hit it, you get paid out. So when you qualify for it, you get that paycheck, and then you go, ooh, that's a jump. I want to do this again. You know, I want this kind of paycheck every time. That's the other beautiful thing about AdvoCare is that you do have to hit this level every pay period to be paid at this level. You don't just hit 3-star gold and make $38,000 a year. That's why I say I do not think it means you think it means. Anyway, what you think it means. Because you have to do this every time. Why? Why is AdvoCare set up that way?
Keeps you from just doing this.
Doing nothing.
That's
That's right. This is not a pyramid scheme. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme.
You're helping.
That's right.
The more you help, the more you get paid.
That's right. AdvoCare is about leadership. AdvoCare is about who you become in pursuit of those things you want in life. So, this is 3-star gold. Now, speed of the leader determines the speed of the pack. If you are not hitting your goal, is your team going to hit their goal? No. So what should you do? You should host 3-way calls. You should host mixers. I think we've pretty much nailed that into your subconscious today. All right. For you to earn your full override, you have to have at least $1,000 PGV yourself. You can't earn leadership bonus unless you have $1,000 PGV yourself. Again, it gets back to your own efforts, your own actions. At 500, you earn 5% override. At 750, you earn 6% override. At 1,000 is when you earn the full 7% override plus leadership. You don't get your leadership here, you don't get it here. You only get it here, all right? We're not talking about that today, though. We're talking about how to build a 3-star gold business. So it's all about duplication. You're going to hit at least $3,000 PGV, but your goal, obviously I cannot write on the whiteboard. Your goal needs to be 3K. Why? All about duplication. It's about the power of 3. If you're hitting 3K every pay period, then that means that you're either getting a lot of product out in the marketplace and you're helping a lot of people get great results, or you're bringing on business builders. Because if you bring on an advisor, how much PGV is that? 3K. Not rocket science, okay? So you bring on 3 advisors. Is your organization going to look like this? Are you going to recruit 3 advisors? No. No. You're probably going to have Sally Sue over here, who is a D30. You're going to have Sam over here, who's a D20, and you just can't get him to understand that he can get a higher discount level no matter how many times you've tried to tell him. You're going to have Joe over here, and he's at a D25 level. And then you know what? You might have this person over here who's at the D40 level. And yeah, you're still going to earn some override from them, but they're just doing it because they want the 40% discount. Okay? Typically, you're going to have, isn't this amazing, a 3-to-1 ratio. You're going to have 3 legs, 1, 2, 3, for every advisor leg. So, you're not just going out trying to recruit advisors. You're going out helping people find their fit. For some people, just product, and that's okay. We have amazing products. Now, once you do get that person who sees it like you see it, and they get to advisor, what do you want to help them to do?
The same thing.
The same thing. You want to help them get 3 people who each get to that advisor level. But it's probably going to be them getting 9 to 12 people to get to that. But celebrate that. If you have 20 wholesale customers, celebrate that. You're helping 20 people look better, feel better, perform better. That's awesome. Chances are some of them are going to see it like you see it, and take the business and go with it. Now look at the beautiful thing that happens. You help them get 3, then the both of you help them get 3, and they get 3, and they get 3. Think you got a solid business that's building? Because each of these people, as we talked about, are going to have more than 3 frontline. Probably going to have 9 to 12, maybe even 15 frontline people who are product users who are ordering monthly, probably, maybe every couple of weeks. And then it's all going to flow up. Okay? So, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5, 10, 15. These legs are generating $15,000 in volume, which gives you $500 of override. They're each star legs. That's going to give you a 3-star gold check. Okay? What if this leg, instead of 5,000, is just 500? Are you going to earn a 3-star gold check that pay period? Nope. For 2 reasons. You don't have enough volume, and this person at 500 with nothing down below is not a star leg. So, try to help that person find more people. Who do you know? Hey, let's host a mixer. Hey, who's seeing your results? Who's noticing that you're losing weight? Who's noticing that you're doing more in the gym than you did before? Who do you know? Let's help them get started too. Don't expect them to just take this and run with it. You have to help them. You have to keep them engaged. You have to make sure that they're getting to Saturday morning trainings. You have to make sure that they're getting on Wednesday night team calls. You have to make sure that they're getting to the biz ops that are being hosted in their area. You can't just get somebody started and expect them to just go. You have to pour into them. You have to lead. Again, Advo cares about leadership. That's why we get paid for leading other people. And again, it ultimately gets back to you have to lead by example, which means you need to be getting prospects on the phone. You need to be getting people to mixers, to impending events. It's not a complicated business. It's a simple business. But my point in this is it's about leadership and it's about duplication. Now, do you have to understand this fully to grow your business? No. Angela told me you'll figure it out as you earn it. As you hit that silver leadership bonus, you'll then understand what you have to do every time to earn that silver leadership bonus. But I think a lot of times people maybe don't grasp the concept that it takes 9 people to get 3 business builders. And so they're beating themselves up because they're going, why isn't my team doing anything? I have 3 advisors and I'm not, I'm not at gold or I'm not at 3-star gold or whatever. Well, it takes more than that. That's why, because not everybody is going to work at the same pace. Or I have 20 wholesale customers and nobody sees it as advisor. Well, maybe you're talking a little bit more about product and you're not sharing the business enough. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just haven't found your champion yet. There's a lot of different reasons. What kind of questions do you have about 3-star gold and this mess that I've drawn up on the board? Or TJ, do you have anything that you want to add about 3-star gold?
No, good.
3-star gold is what we're going to start using as the benchmark. The time in which it takes you to get to 3-star gold is entirely up to you. If you are not Ruby in 90 days, that's okay. Maybe you put the effort in to be Ruby in 90 days and you are Ruby in 90 days. That's okay. Any questions?
Just one comment that helped us as we started growing towards that level was one of the things that we asked Casey and TJ about a lot was, why are we not advancing our pin level and why are we not doing this? And they said, are you reading your reports? We're like, what reports? So they walked us through this report. On the pre-qual report, if you don't know what that is, that should be something that you're looking at on a daily basis to help people get to that $500 level or to get to their next discount level. When we started doing that, that's when a lot of that growth happened on our team. It was just working and saying, did you know that you're only $50 away from 25%?
Right.
And by helping them realize that, then and say, let me show you where that report is so that you can look at your reports and you can help those other people. So
let's talk about those for just a second, because that's an excellent point. How should you be starting off your pay period? You should be starting off your pay period by getting your volume and earnings report to 500 as quickly as possible. TJ and I woke up Thursday morning and somebody placed a $350 order. Score. Later on that day, somebody else had placed a $180 order. Awesome, A lot of Wednesday mornings we wake up and we just place our $500 order because we want to be able to at least see our override, or we place a $1,000 order depending on what is going on in our business at that time. We have a lot of orders to fill. So that's the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to your volume and earnings report and you want to make sure that it says 500. By yesterday, by the first Friday, you want to make sure that your PGV is at 500 so you can see your override. Okay? Also, Tanya Parr shared this at school, and I've heard this shared several times. They were taught, place a $1,000 order every Wednesday because, by golly, you're going to get out and retail some product. Do you remember if you went straight to Advisor how it felt to have all that product at your house? What'd you do?
It was very easy.
You moved it. That gave you that motivation to get it out the door. That lit a fire under you to get that product out. And where product goes, business flows. If you don't have product on your shelves, then you probably are lacking some motivation because you don't have that fire to
Think
go.
about it this way: if you're building a business and you need some income quickly, and you've gone out and you've placed a $1,000 order and you move that in the marketplace, you've instantly, within a 2-week time period, earned $400, right? Because you're at a 40% discount if you're an advisor, right? You get a $1,000 worth of product for $600, you share it in the marketplace, you're putting $400 back into your family's budget very, very quickly.
Extra, yeah.
Extra. That's not any of the other residual ways. That's not the overrides and leaderships and those types of things. That's the first way we get paid, retail earnings. They're very important. They can be a large majority of a check.
So it's the first thing that you should be doing at the beginning of your pay period is you should be checking your volume and earnings report. And you should make sure it's at least at 500, if not at 1,000. The next thing that you're going to look at is you're going to look at your advisor pre-qualification report. Who ended for advisor, which means they had at least $500 worth of volume. Okay? Who ended there? Call them. Hey, congratulations. You've got a big fat credit towards the 40% discount level. Has anybody shared with you how you get your products at cost, at 40% off? Well, I want to do that with you today. I want to share that with you. Connect with them. Get to know. Crystal always says, I see that you signed up. See that you got to the 25% discount level. Your goals are my goals, but I don't know what your goals are. So what is it that you want to accomplish with AdvoCare? I'm really just looking for product results. Great. Did you know that even just a product user can get their products at a 40% discount? Has anybody explained that to you, broken that down for you? Let me do that for you because you have a $500 credit towards it. You have a $750 credit towards it, whatever. You're going to work that pre-qualification report. If you have advisors who are in their third pay period, they are priority because you get 3 consecutive pay periods to build towards advisor. So it's really important, you guys, be respectful and call them early in the pay period. Yeah, you can call them at 10:30 on Tuesday night, but that's not going to be received quite as well as if you call them on a Wednesday afternoon at the beginning of the pay period. Great news, you've got 2 weeks to get to this 40% discount level, okay? Call them.
As most of us are building our business and somebody sees the benefit of 25% and saying maybe that's where they are in life right now, and they've got to work there. The start of that Wednesday morning after the close of the pay period, you're doing them a favor by going to them and saying, hey, who can we talk to today? Let's get started now. Let's start moving you. Let's get your next qualifying in as quickly as possible. But really what you're doing is helping champion up beside those people, okay? 9 out of 10 of us probably, there's maybe 8 out of 10 of us are going to know who those $500 qualifying orders were without having to look at the pre-qual report right now where we are in our businesses, okay? So you've already got a relationship with those folks. You've already established that, and they either got to 500 because they saw the potential in advisor and they want to get there, or maybe they don't know. Maybe they're just product user and need to help them move to that next discount level. Start on Wednesday. Wednesday after the close of the pay period and say, hey, I'm ready to do this with you. Who can we talk to? Who can we move forward? Who can we introduce Spark to? It's all a team effort. It's not just about you going out and saying, hey, who do you know and who have you talked to today? It's not about saying who have you talked to today. It's who have we talked to today. Who can we talk to? Who can we get in front of? Who can we spark? Who can we? It's a team mentality because people want to join in on a team, right? But when you're out there on your own, it's a little bit of a Lone Ranger kind of concept, right? And it's hard to do anything alone and on your own. So don't. So that's why I say it's Wednesday, Thursday at the latest. Contact those folks. And here's a pet peeve. Don't do it via text. Don't do it via Facebook message. And don't do it via email. You call that person. You owe it to them to have a voice-to-voice conversation. If you can get in front of them, even better. Because that shows your personal investment into them. All right? Any of us can drop a text to anybody. I can drop a text to Richard Wright right now.
Well, I have a good story
How's that
about
received?
that.
So,
Last week, I had 3 people that were in qualification for advisor. And so I had talked to 2 of them on the phone, and one lives in California, and I had not talked to her on the phone. But I had touched base with her as the pay period went on to let her know, and she had never, in text, she had never responded at all. So that the very last day, she's like, hey, I just want to make sure you had checked in with this, and this person, and I had checked in with them, except Miriam, who's in California. And so I sent Miriam another text, and she said, oh, okay, and she just didn't really give me the idea that she was very interested in actually moving forward and doing it. Didn't say another word, and she's kind of been hard to read anyways, that she's kind of just buying all this product for herself to get her to this point anyway, so I just thought maybe she was happy at her 30% discount. Wednesday morning, she sends me a text. I got on at like 11 o'clock last night, and I tried to place my order, and there was some error. And I tried 2 or 3 more times, and my order would not go through to get her, and just in qualification to stay towards her advisor.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I would have talked to you over the phone, I would have known I needed to check in with you. I would have known that you actually cared and wanted to move to that next level. But because it was via text, it was hard to read.
Yeah.
And so
there's no emotion.
That prevented me from getting to 3,000 PGB, because if she would have placed her order, I would have been right at it. And then it also prevented her from being qualification for advisor. She has a lot of credit toward that. So what I'm saying is, he's right. We should talk to these people on the phone so you can gauge.
You're TJ's new favorite person.
let's think about it this way. When Charlie Vegas started this business in 1993,
There was no.
Cell phones were in a bag still, okay?
A big bag.
I know because I had one. I was one of the cool kids in high school that worked and had a bag phone. All right? There was no text messaging. Al Gore was just starting to think about the internet. So I needed to. And Facebook, the founder of Facebook he might have still been in junior high. I don't even know. Okay?
Yeah.
He built this relationship with people eyeball to eyeball. It's about getting in people's face and showing that you care. You know, not only can you not communicate emotion via text or documentation, you can't see, you can't read inflection and voices, but it's very impersonal as well.
And you already made money off of them.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's kind of rude. Like, don't you owe it to them because you make
Absolutely.
the money off of them to talk?
You do. You
Well, I think you've already taken it that way.
I mean,
You just think everybody's so busy and it's so
Yeah.
convenient for
And
you to
that's
send it that
about
way.
it.
It's probably convenient for them to
Yeah.
respond that way, but it's also more convenient for them not to respond that way.
Oh, no, that's a good point.
But I have been, I'm just going to speak to this whole talking to people about their levels because that has gotten me to 3,000 PGV.
Yes.
Like the last 3 times that I made it that way when I never even thought that was possible. I thought, oh, it's crazy. Who really does that? Whenever just those 4 people every time, whatever. And so when I got it that first time, I was like, oh, I can do this again.
Yeah.
And so a big part of that was checking in with people about getting to their next discount level, and they're more interested than I thought. I thought they were just happy at 20%, and I would be plugging them.
People want to say
They think I'm pushing them to do something, but really, oh, really? That's kind of how it is. And so they'll place an order, or that they know somebody who wants some Spark. But I have been doing a lot of it, you know, text or Facebook. It's been effective, but I wonder how much more effective as I picked up the phone a little bit more the last few times. I even called a perfect stranger that was a distributor of mine's distributor that was on the report. She lives in Cookville anyways. I didn't know her. It's the first time I've ever called someone that I hadn't actually engaged with about Advocare. And it was a big step, but actually went really well because her distributor swore to me she only wants a 20% discount. Casey said, you really need to check. You know, check.
You can't guarantee that.
And she was like, oh, I can get a higher discount. And thank you so much for calling me. She told me about herself. I told her my story. Bottom line is, I do believe that we probably should get on the phone more.
Well,
And I think it would just be better. It would be even better for our business.
Here's the point, is that it's a courtesy call.
Yeah.
It's not a weird call. It's a courtesy call. I'm letting you know that you have a credit in the computer towards a higher discount level that's going to save you money. Because it's 20, 25, 30, 40. Angela Pullen had a leapfrog call this week that was amazing. The person had no idea that she could earn significant income with Advocare, and she said, I want to do that.
And I just kind of position, like, I make it a priority of mine that anyone on my team knows that where they are with their discount and how they can get further, and if they want to, that I'm here to help them.
That's
and
right.
So that's kind of, and she was like, oh, you know, and I was like, well, I will call people more often.
There you go.
Every time I do it, it's not as bad as you think. Just
There
like
you
your first three-way call. You think it's weird. You get that person on the phone with the other person, they don't think it's weird. And they start saying stuff they wouldn't even told you. You talked to them 4 times.
Yeah, you had no idea that they were struggling with $50,000 in credit card debt, but they're somehow telling Allison,
the stranger.
they're telling the stranger that's where they are. That's the beauty of the 3-way call. So that's where we're going to wrap up today. Is empowerment. That's been the whole message of this training, is that if it's going to be, it's up to me kind of thing. That's the mentality that everybody should be having. You have everything that you need to build this business. You are capable of building this business. You are just as worthy. You are just as deserving as anyone else who's done it. The only difference is that you just have to decide to do it and follow through. Pick up the phone, make those calls, open up the door to your house, and host a mixer. So that's where we're going to wrap up.
On the way home.
You're going to what?
We have an hour and a half ride on the way home.
Pick up that phone and call. That's the perfect time to call. So thank you guys so much for being online with us this morning. Thank you guys for being in our living room this morning. And we will do it again next month. And make sure that you are spreading the word and getting your team on these trainings in addition to events. So.
With the baby. With the baby.